Well, hello, my YouTube friends. So I just got through, well, a few minutes ago, just got through watching a video from Pete Egger, Pete in North Las Vegas, and it was an old video for him or from time ago where he was looking at one of the scopes he's bought, and because I need a scope, you saw that last upper assembly with no scope, and I'm not sure what I want to put on it. The only other scopes I have is a pair of these Trijicons, and so what I'm going to do, we'll do a scope review, and shout out to Pete Egger. I'll leave a link to the video that I saw, and you can look at his channel from there. So he's a great guy. He's got everything that a man's man wants. He's got guns, cars, a beautiful wife. He's a patriot, a Navy veteran. So, yeah, big shout out to Pete from North Las Vegas. I noticed that Pete, like all his guns or all the ones, that I saw, he always mounts his scopes in a quick detach. And I only have two, and so both of them are identical. They both have these the Burris Pepper, and it worked okay for me. Now, I don't know if this is considered quick detach or not. I always just went like that. But in order to take a closer look at this scope, I'm going to remove it, and let's document where it's at. Okay, I got 1, 2.5 openings right there. All right, that way I can put it back on, and we'll check its return to zero. It's a 458 that I bought from Wilson. Just the upper only. I didn't buy the whole gun. So if I should be able... Now, see, I can just... Now, is that considered quick detach? And I don't have any backup iron sights. Yeah, I know. But, okay, so let's take a look at this scope. And I fell in love with this scope the first time I saw one, which was in a gun shop that's, unfortunately, they closed doors. They were called Gilman Mayfield. For decades, they were a fixture in Fresno, California. Everybody, right? Everybody was going there. I like them better than Herb Bauer. Herb Bauer was good. They had all kinds of inventory, but a couple of the guys that worked there, I could live without. But in the Gilman and Mayfield, they had just like a stock thing that, like a gun stock with one of these Trijicon aim points or Trijicon Accupoints mounted on it. And so I held that to my shoulder and I looked through it and I just fell in love. If you guys haven't seen the... Are you? Actually, I guess you have. Let's see if it focuses. I didn't. It's not really focusing. All right, but it has that post with the red triangle sitting on it. And when I looked through that, I said, oh, that's cool. And so I eventually bought one and put it on a 223 caliber AR, and it's done real good. I like to use them on 1 power. We'll zoom in some. I like to use them on 1 power, both eyes open, wide field of view. And as I said before, I just always shoot at 100 yards. The most convenient place to shoot for me is the Fresno Rifle and Pistol Club. And, they have extended range, shooting areas there. But, I just always shoot at 100 yards. So, both eyes open, low power, it goes up to 4. It's a 1 to 4 buy. And the turrets on it Now, I almost lost one of these one time when I was at the range, because as I was picking up the brass, I found one of these caps laying on the ground also. And luckily, you know, I didn't get stepped on or anything. And then I'm like, checked, like, oh man, you know, so I don't know if I was making adjustments and had left it on the little table, or if it vibrated loose. Or so you do got to be careful with these turret protectors that you don't lose them. Okay, and you can see the instructions on it right there. Quarter MOA, which direction, move your impact right, pull to reset, and it's got a, where is it? Okay, in order for pull to reset, there has to be a mark somewhere for, you know, to use as your 0. But I don't see it. All right, so what difference does it? So if I pull this up, then I can turn it and then push it back down. And my 0, which is right there, I can move that 0. But there's no reference point for it. Let's check the top. And that never really mattered to me, because once I got it zeroed for 100 yards, I just left it there. And I like to take my friends and new shooters and beginners and stuff to the range with me and introduce them to the shooting sports. And so I zero everything at 100 yards, because I believe my friends and the new shooters that I take with me will have a more enjoyable time if they have success. And by that I mean if they score hits on target. And so instead of trying to tell them, well, I zeroed it at 25 because that way on a man-sized target out to 300, you know, like that's, you know, they don't care about that. They just want to have fun. And if I'm zeroed at 100, I can just tell them, put the little point right in the center of that target and pull the trigger, and you'll score a hit. That's what they want to do. And one thing I don't like about this scope, though, and it hasn't really been an issue because of where and when and how. See, that's 4 power. Let me see. I'll get it lined up on that. Okay, that's 4 power. Now let me turn the knob back. So the magnification, it does affect the eye relief, if I remember correctly last time I shot it. So the more zoomed in it is, you got to get a little bit closer to the ocular lens. And it has a focus, has a focus ring right here. And so what's good about it is even in bright daylight, this part right here is the fiber optic. It'll pick up ambient light and it will help illuminate the red triangle. And if it's too bright or too dark, you can adjust it. Man, it's been so long. There you go. You can cover up part of it, and then the triangle won't be so bright. If I can see that. Now you can't even see the red triangle. And the tritium always works, so there should have some illumination. Okay, now I'll move that back and let light in the top. And even though it's not focused really on the triangle, you can see that it's glowing red right there. Oh, I was going to say, the only thing I really like about it is the post that the red triangle sits on. It covers up, if you're going to do holdover, it covers up the target, or it intrudes on the target. And there's no markings for holdover the way a lot of other reticles have that. But then on the plus side, everyone that's shot my guns with these Trijicons, as soon as they hold it to their eye, they always like lower a little bit and turn and look at me and say, "Oh, that's cool." So like Nothing Fancy has first cool and second cool. So first cool is whether or not a gun works or an accessory works and is functional and, you know, can actually perform its intended task. That's first cool. Second cool is how it looks, and, you know, just kind of whether, you know, you like the look of it, and, you know, and that sort of thing. So I forget how much I paid for them. I have two of these. Both of them are both 1:4 by 24 with the same red reticle and the same Burris pepper. And so I really like these. Okay, we're up to like almost 12 minutes already. And it came with the covers with the elastic thing. The dog chewed on one of them. And the second one I got around here somewhere, you know, the dust cap and with kind of a yellow, you know, clear plastic on the one end. So, all right, my friends, we're going to, okay, so we're going to go to the verse of the day. And if you notice right here, if I can zoom in, excuse me, and focus. And you can see it right there below the, whatever that the Q code, below 1-4X JN12:46. So both of my Trijicon Accupoints, they both have that on there, John 12:46. I don't know if all Trijicons come so engraved, but the two that I have are so engraved. So, for the verse of the day, we're going to go to the book of John, chapter 12, verse 46. And I'll read a couple other. So let's raise this up. Let me zoom in. Okay, so John 12. And we'll go ahead and start with 44. Move this ribbon. Jesus cried and said, "He that believeth on me, believeth not on me, but on him that sent me. And he that seeth me, seeth him that sent me. I am come a light into the world, that whosoever believeth on me should not abide in darkness." And John 12:46, I'll just read that one because it's engraved on the Trijicon rifle scope. John 12:46. I am come a light into the world, that whosoever believeth on me should not abide in darkness. All right, my friends, you have a good day.